Birth Code. I am the young conjurer.
And I am Celestial Lashae. Hey everyone.
Hey, it's so good to see you again. It is so good. I'm
Yes.
super excited for this episode. Oh my gosh, because we're gonna be talking about Big Pluto. Big Pluto was just
Yes.
ruled by Scorpio. So they're such a very strong, powerful, and beautiful group of people that I just love their energy and I love being around them. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so welcome to Cosmic Birth Code. This is our second episode. And Cosmic Birth Code is all about breaking down that cosmic astrological DNA that is encoded in every single person. And it basically, astrology is a way of how the stars help you navigate this life. So yes, let's go ahead and get started and talk about some of these transits that has been happening. I live in Central Texas, and you live in
Memphis 10. Tennessee.
yes. So we are relatively on the same. We're in the same time zone. So pretty
Yes.
much the astrology is pretty the same. So if anybody lives within Memphis or San Antonio, Austin, the astrology will be on point, honey. But a little things I wanted to discuss was Mars. So
Yeah.
Mars pretty much went into Sagittarius on November 4th, and that was a big election day.
It
How did you feel
was.
about it? How did you feel about November 4th?
I feel like with the elections in Mississippi and Virginia, like I'm really unhappy to see the swing vote more than anything. And with the Mars and Sagittarius energy, I'm definitely seeing more philosophical initiation with people. I'm seeing a lot of that, a lot of, hey, we see what's going on. We're handling business. I am seeing a lot of that with Mars and Sagittarius.
Yeah, I think it was really unexpected in terms of not just the Republican Party, but even
Yes.
people within the Democratic Party or just anybody in general. We were just so defeated last year, on last year's presidential election that we were just like, okay, just keep screwing us in the booty hole. Come on. I like you with no lube. I love it. Oh my gosh. So
Yes.
fun. So exciting. But
Yes.
but for that to kind of happen across the country has just been inspiring, exciting. It has been a little depressing in Texas because we had 17 propositions
Oh.
that were worded kind of funky in terms of just understanding
Mhm.
what these propositions are, who they
Yes.
benefit, and who they hurt the most, and how they can really truly help the people in Texas. So yeah, it's been a definitely interesting time. Mars ingressing into Sagittarius, at least for Central Texas. Mars went into Sagittarius at 1:30 p.m. So we didn't really know the presidential, not presidential, but the elections across the board until later that night. So Sagittarius came in kicking full swing. Sagittarius is all about, in my mind, expansion, travel, higher learning, higher education. So
Mhm.
we're not only pushing towards in progress. I definitely feel like Sagittarius, since it is an energy of travel, is also an energy of pushing and progressing forward. So Mars
Mhm.
came in swinging. It said, I'm finna show y'all something. Yeah.
Yes. That's what
And
I love about that mutable fire of Sagittarius. It definitely brings in and promote change in a fun way, an optimistic way, I like to say, with that Jupiter influence.
yes. One thing I didn't mean to interrupt, but one thing I found kind of interesting was the fact that Mars ingressed into Sagittarius in the ninth house.
Mhm.
And currently on that, at least on that day, I don't know, because we're on, no, this is November 7th. there was a stellium going on with ninth house. Ninth house had the
Yes.
sun, had Mercury and Lilith. They was having a little
Yeah.
party. They was like, hey, let's get it fluid. Let's get it fluid. They was over there having a little party while we was over here stressing. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was stress, but we were just kind of like, it is what it is type of mentality.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, yeah, girl. Mars. Okay, one transit that I kind of wanted to highlight as far as the relationship that was going on with Mars and the other planets was Mars was in opposition to Uranus. Of course, Mars is in Sagittarius and Uranus is in Gemini, retrograding in the third house, especially on that day.
Yeah.
How do you what are your thoughts and opinions about the third house?
With the third house of Gemini or Mercury, uh, I like it for the most part because it definitely tests like your primary education, like where you started out at, like what are your initial thoughts? And with Uranus being there, it's definitely going to bring about some unexpected things as far as like thought process, short term traveling, things of that nature. And it's also retrograding now, so it's gonna be going back into the sign of Taurus soon, which is we gotta be kind of watchful of the weather a little bit, being that Taurus is kind of rules the weather a little bit. But I am happy overall with Uranus being in Gemini right now because it's giving people a way to just re revitalize how they revitalize review how they communicate in their thought process slightly, and then we'll get there. But this is also going to help with the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius as well. But yes.
Yes, I agree with all of that.
Hmm.
Uranus is such a planet that is that unpredictable, unexpected change. And I feel like depending on your verbiage, but when I always hear change when people talk about Uranus, but like people really underestimate that change, and it doesn't. I feel
Yes.
like the tone that they put Uranus is like this. Is like Kali Ma, who she comes in and she just destroys everything, but they
Yes.
put the wrong energy behind Uranus and Kali Ma. Kali Ma comes in to destroy things, but she also comes in to give you that destruction of rebirth. You're gonna
Yes.
start anew. And Uranus, it may seem like a scary time because the
Hmm.
last time Uranus was in Gemini, we went through the Great Depression. And with everything that's
Yes.
going on economically, it's getting real like what we hold
What
on,
are we doing?
what's going on?
Yes. Although
What's going
although the Great Depression was a big thing, we also were able to experience the Harlem Renaissance during the same time.
Hello.
So
Hello. Because black
so
people, look, black people, we was like, girl, we couldn't get in the banks no way. We couldn't own nothing no way. Like,
exactly.
we was
So
having a good jolly time.
we were. And then I also want to piggyback off of this. Uranus is one of those planets that it seems like, oh, ain't nothing happening, ain't nothing going on, but whole time you're kind of like a crab in cold water. When it starts boiling, you're not even going to realize it because you've been sitting here stagnant and it's just going to, it feels like a major change. It's not. This change has been initiated over time. It rules Aquarius, and it's a fixed air. And so one thing about fixed air is like, hey, that air's still gonna move. So yeah,
Whether
I'm
you
learning.
ready for it or not.
Yes. So that's one thing I love about the planet of Uranus is that hey, the change was gonna happen eventually. Were you prepared?
Were you prepared? Were you ready? Were you doing the necessary steps? And I feel like sometimes when we talk about Uranus, it's because Aquarius was also ruled by Saturn. And sometimes we get into that territory where you prepared, were you ready? That's that Saturn talking. Like, hey, what was you doing? Because you were supposed to, when the change happened, you were supposed to get up with it. Like, oh,
Right. You're
we're
supposed to
not
get
supposed to be sitting
into
here looking crazy and confused.
it. Right.
Yeah, so with the energy of November 4th, with that Mars opposing Uranus, a lot of times with oppositions, it's in mathematical terms and in astrology, that's directly opposite or 180 degrees from each other. And we would
Yes.
think,
Yeah.
oh, opposites either attract or they don't like each other. But sometimes it can be exciting, it can be fresh, it can be unpredictable. The energy, the attraction is high. Like, oh, he different. Oh, she different. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving that thrill, that danger, that, oh,
Yes.
like that
I
Oz, that,
agree.
makes me feel alive. And I feel like
Yes.
that was the energy that we got on November 4th, especially with in terms of the election. Like, we were like, oh, okay. Like, everybody hyped in New York. I'm sitting here in Texas, like, well, we're looking for the change. But it is change in the
Yes.
way. Like I said, we can have positive change, or we can have what we perceive to be negative change. Um, uh, Also, it can also bring a conversation of freedom. I know for me in particular, when I was going over the different propositions, I forgot which proposition it was, but it was basically stating that if you are accused, remember,
Mm.
accused of a
Yes.
crime, you can be held without bond. And they were trying to make sure that this passes within Texas state constitution.
Right.
As far as I understand, I ain't no law major, I ain't none of that. But you should have access to bail out if you accused. I can see if you found guilty, but accused.
Right.
And how with Mars opposing Uranus, how that conversation of freedom comes up. It's like with everything that's going on with the administration and what they're trying to throw on the wall and see what sticks. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
some of these deep red states are trying to prepare for what's yet to come of the future. So that's something to kind of put out there. Also, with this transit, it can bring a sense of hardship, restraint, contradiction, thinking twice, or
Yes.
having patience, anger, or impulsive irritation or unresolved feelings. So I mean, some people was happy in the country, some people was a little scared. I was a little confused. So I kind of wanted to highlight, especially within the election part of it all. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about November 2nd. I kind of wanted to bring up some devastating news that happened on
Mm.
the 3rd or the 4th earlier in the day where I live locally. So in Skirts, Texas, there was a train collision with an 18-wheeler. And it was pretty bad. Thankfully, nobody got hurt.
Right.
But Uranus was in Gemini, as we said before,
Yes.
in the 4th house. And one of the things that I pulled from the rulership book, RXE Bills, trains are ruled by Uranus in Gemini. Accidents are ruled by Uranus in the 3rd house. Trucks are ruled by Uranus in Gemini. So
Yes.
when I was kind of looking into like, okay, how can I break down the event in keywords? I was like, okay, what happened? We had a train collide with a truck.
Right.
Let me flip through this book. And they said
Yeah.
Gemini, Uranus, 3rd house. I said, oh, it was straight just like that. It wasn't it was straight just
Straight to
like
the
that.
point.
Straight to the point.
Yes. I will say a lot of unexpected accidents and stuff with this Uranus and Gemini have been happening.
And you said
I've been
that last
noticing that.
episode. You did.
Yes.
You did. You
Yes.
was like, we need to be careful, guys. And
Yes. Because Uranus is going to be in Gemini for some years to come now, at least about 7, I believe. And
yes,
so we definitely have to get behind that wheel with like, hey, let me be mindful. Let me slow it down. I want to make it to my destination and back.
right. Because what I've been noticing, because I drive a lot, and one thing I noticed, people be having a lot of road rage. Like
They do.
the light just turned honk, you turn to honk. Oh, you in my
Hmm.
way? It's like, calm down, guys. Like, are you trying to meet? Who are you trying to meet really quick? That's on the other side. Like, what's
Right.
going
I
on?
want to make it to my destination safely in one piece.
Thank you. What's truly going on? So that happened on November 2nd, and then we had November 4th. I want to say it was November 4th as well, but this was earlier on in the day in Louisville, Kentucky. UPS cargo plane MD-11 crashed, and
Wow.
as far as I know, the death total I think was at 10, 12. So there was four people
Goodness.
on the plane that completely
Yeah.
died, but it crashed. Like it lifted up just a little bit in the air, and then something went wrong with the engine or the left wing. Something it blew up as it was trying to take off, and then it immediately crashed. And some airports are in residential areas,
They
so
are.
it crashed into like it wasn't a neighborhood, but it was like neighborhood businesses, and so it did kill a child. So that was a very tragic accident. And
Mm.
that energy kind of spoke to Mars ingressing into Sagittarius. Sagittarius, if y'all don't know no Sagittarius in your life, Sagittarius is fiery. They spicy, they hot. I personally, do I get along with Sagittarius? Like I do, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold you. I know this is biased, and I don't like when this happens on the internet. But I really can't get along with Sagittarius women. I don't know what it is. Like it start off cool, then they start acting crazy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Try, I really try with them, but they just, I don't know. I don't know.
It'd be a
But
hit or miss with them.
it
They
be a
fun though. They are
strong,
real fun.
for a strong hit or miss, and I'll just be looking so confused because I'm like, what is truly going on? Um, yeah, but okay. So with the airplane crash, so like I said, most of my information, this is like my astrology dictionary. Hold on,
Yes.
real close to
Yes.
it. So I was like, okay, let me look into what rules over airplanes, the mechanics, because clearly it was the mechanics, the maintenance. What rules over the mechanics, or an explosion, plane crash? These are keywords that I'm looking up. Explosions are signified or related to Uranus, Mars, and Leo. Fire, because it was a fiery explosion, of course, is Mars. And then we have Sagittarius ruling over air travel, transport, distant or foreign travel, because this plane was a cargo plane. So it wasn't a passenger plane. So it was transporting materials, and it was heading towards Hawaii. So
Oh,
all of this was kind of just really like, hold up now. I love when they say astrology ain't, it's not what
it's
it's
a
given.
study. It's a study. I'm gonna always say it. It's not a belief system. It is a study,
It
y'all.
is a true study. Like it's a lifelong study, because it's still so much that you can really decode and break down. Hence the whole concept of our podcast, Cosmic Birth
Yes.
Code. Breaking
Yes.
down what is happening, because astrology is how the cosmic energy manifests on Earth. So what's going on above us? The lovely
Yes.
saying of Tahuti or Thoth, as above, so below, as within, as
Yes.
without. So
Yes.
astrology is not all about, oh, I don't like this zodiac sign because I can't get along with them. Wink, wink. But it's so much deeper than that. So I
Yes.
just found that to be very interesting. You had any comments as far as that?
No, like you really knocked that out the park. You really did. I didn't have nothing really to add to
Okay, so another thing I wanted to kind of
it.
conversate on was a little bit of flashback. I know I keep going back to the November 4th election, but last year, of course, Trump won as our uh, person in office. He won last year. And so on November 5th, I did
Hmm.
a astrological, I won't call it a forecast because it was the same day, but Mars was in Leo opposing to Pluto in Capricorn. And what I'm gonna quote, what I put for that day, I said, be mindful of high emotions, energy towards plans, find alternate ways to success, stalemate, high stakes, high loss, challenging statistics. And like I said, when we found out that Miss K didn't win, we was like, everybody was at a, well, some people, some people was at a, what the hell, and other people were very excited. But it's funny, a whole 365 days later, Mars is in Sag and is sextiling Pluto. With a Mars sextiling Pluto, it's intense drive, determination, which will fuel highlight the election night and the day after, is because with Zoran Mamdani, please forgive me if I'm not saying his name right, but he won. And a little bit into how he kind of won, he really took the time to connect with his people and like the community that he was in. Like, he lived in a rent stable apartment, he helped the taxi drivers, and he slowly but surely built his way up within the political landscape. And I feel like with that work and with that energy and with that mentality, definitely helped win the people over. In that transit, this particular transit, Mars sextiling to Pluto, speaks to that. What is your commentary on that transit?
The Pluto sextile Mars.
Yes, ma'am. It was in a Mars
Uh,
Sag, Pluto Aquarius.
yes, with that Pluto sextile Mars, I definitely see that as an opportunity for redemption. Like, we're letting the old things die and while we're initiating new beginnings. I'm definitely seeing that. A lot of people are tired. A lot of people are ready for the change. And I do see with that Mars in sextile Pluto, people are ready to let go of the old things and try new beginnings. And it may be unconventional at first, it may be the unorthodox way, but the unorthodox way still works. And that's what I'm seeing a lot with with a lot of the Democratic wins in the new mayors, because Detroit also got their first black woman mayor. That
Yeah.
So that was a really good win for them as well. And she's also a Democrat as well. So I definitely do see where people are like, let's go ahead and take this change. These people are putting all the best effort they can into building a better community and a safer city for everyone around. Let's take a chance on them because we already see what we're dealing with already. We already see what's not working, you know. So I definitely am grateful that these transits are promoting um, good change. Good change is what I believe we'll be promoting more than anything.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, we're constantly working on driving home the point of how astrology is not just this pop trend of
It's
talking
not.
about the celebrities, even though we love talking about the celebrities or talking about the lovers within astrology or the fun things that astrology brings, but also the very much more mundane and serious aspects that affect us on the day-to-day concept, which is a perfect segue into the moon aspect. So I kind of wanted to highlight our past full moon in Taurus. That was on November
Yes.
5th. How did you feel about the full moon?
As a native Taurus and Moon, I was grateful for the rest I got. Definitely had me a little tired, but definitely a lot more optimistic and ready to push forward with the comfort of things and push towards I was about to say it definitely put a fuel under my butt when it came down like a fire a little bit when it happened, to just go after the things that makes me happy emotionally, and to release the things that are not supporting me, because I love the full moon. I love when that full moon cycle happens, especially when you have initiated things during the new moon and you want to see them full circle during this full moon. And I will say it definitely was a prosperous full moon for me. A lot of things are working out, and I really hope everything. It felt nice. I felt the love, to say the least. I definitely felt that Venus, the persuasion energy with that full moon that just passed. It's really helped me just do a lot more self care, a little more self love. How did you feel about it?
loved it. Honestly, with the full moon in Taurus, I feel like leading up to the full moon, I was very much gearing towards, okay, we need to get into a sleep schedule. I need to make sure I'm taking my vitamins. I need to make sure that I'm doing my beauty routine. Do I feel good? How am I feeling? Like Taurus was really putting me in a very just like, are you taking care of yourself? And I'm like, no,
Yes.
no, no. I'm not.
Definitely.
I'm not in charge. Full Moon in Taurus is just like, hey, I think we just need to take a moment to chill, guys. Like it's just too much good. Like Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is very just like, hey, like let's just chill. Let's just
Let's take
come
our time.
everybody take a chill pill and just vibe. So I really enjoyed this Taurus full moon. I was able to see it as a moonrise. I was able to see the moonrise. It was so beautiful. Like as the sun was setting, the moon was rising.
Yes,
I said, "Oh, she big and pretty. She real big and
she
pretty.
was.
She
This was
was not
definitely a
pretty.
beautiful supermoon.
It was. It was. Yeah. So one thing I would say with this full moon in Taurus, it
Hmm.
as we're kind of like conversing and sharing our experiences of the full moon, the moon was telling us to, like you said, slow down, think before you act, um, take a take a moment to go down memory lane. Um, are you really living up to what you set for? Because the full moons are all about harvesting and releasing. So receiving your rewards, but also releasing that's not meant for you. The biggest thing that kind of reminds me is breathing. When you're when you're doing your meditations and you're trying to alchemize your situation, they always tell you breathe in the positivity, release the negativity. And I feel
Yes.
like Taurus was telling us to get back in rhythm, get back in sync with ourselves. Um, so yeah, um, yeah. A little bit. Okay, so we talked about the full moon, but we're gonna kind of forecast a little bit into the new moon. We have a new moon in Scorpio on November 20th. It will be at
Okay.
28 degrees in the 12th house.
Okay. That's gonna be spicy. And then we're also gonna be on that tail end of that Mercury retrograde. Oh goodness, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I feel like the new moon that's gonna come up is gonna be very. Part of me feels like it's gonna be very just like obsessive about something. Like I feel like since new moons are all about really making sure that you plant those seeds of growth and plant those seeds of like what do we want to start on. I feel like the energy leading up to the new moon of Scorpio, we're gonna be so sure about starting a project or that theme that's like, I've done what I needed to done. I'm ready to do it now. That's the energy that's gonna come up on November 20th that I feel like is gonna show. And it is gonna be in the
Yes.
12th house too. What is your commentary about moon in the 12th house?
Moon in the 12th house, I'm definitely hearing or seeing intense dreams, questioning about your health more than anything. Got to be very mindful of your mental health at that time, and the caring and keeping of others. Because with us having this Taurus moon, we kind of focus on self. Now we're gonna have this new moon in Scorpio. It's gonna be more so external with other people and how they're taking care of themselves. I do see that with the 12th house. I do see a potential, like a lot of things are going to be changed with healthcare. I feel like by that time we will be coming to a resolution with this shutdown. By then, I definitely believe that will be happening, or there will be some new bill produced with the Scorpio in the 12th house. Also, I don't want to say it's going to be some changes. Well, changes are always going to happen, but I definitely believe like with this 12th house, it's going to be a lot of hidden agendas coming to the light with the moon there. Um, and how do you feel about
My feelings about moon being in the 12th house, I feel like
it? Mhm.
it's a aspect showing into more about intimacy,
Yes.
themes of intimacy, power, control, sex, money, and sharing.
Hmm. Yes.
So that sounds like infidelity and cheating. So I don't know.
sound like a sound like a wild time.
Right. It sounds like yikes, but it sounds very much of because 12th house is all about also the hidden things that are hidden.
Yes.
So I feel like
Yes.
that with the moon is hidden in itself. So things are probably going to be happening behind the scenes, behind your back, that you're not
It
going to find
is.
out into the next full moon cycle. And you're going to come back on this video and be like, them heifers was right.
Right. I
Them,
agree.
somebody was lying, somebody was cheating, somebody was doing something they weren't supposed to, somebody was screwing somebody behind somebody back, and now, boom,
It's all in the light.
it's all up in the light. Hidden enemies, or your enemy, or that girl you thinking that screwing your man. That girl you think that's screwing your man. My
Yep.
man, she's screwing your man. You're gonna find out in the next 30
Yep.
days.
Yes. You are. Definitely by the full moon in Gemini. Definitely by then. Because Uranus ain't gonna let you sleep. It ain't gonna
And,
let you be blind.
and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. That is for the talk.
Me too.
Oh, girl, yapping, just like the damn phone call, just yapping, interrupting shit. And I saw your man after you saw him winning. I saw your girl giving, and you started
Yes.
winning.
It's all gonna come full circle. I promise you. It's gonna come full circle.
It's gonna come full circle real quick in a goddamn hurry. But
Mm-hmm.
all right. So one of the transits that are happening with the moon in particular is that moon will be conjuncting Mercury retrograde, like Miss Ma'am mentioned.
Yes.
The energy is going to be pretty intense. Like you're gonna have suspicions of things in your mind ruminating, but you don't have no proof. And sometimes, when you ain't get, that man ain't doing right. You know that man ain't doing right. You know that girl when she said, "Babe, don't worry about him," and that's all you need to really be worried about.
Is worrying about him.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come to the forefront. One of the things that I kind of notated with the conjunction of the moon and Mercury, there will be attachment issues, codependency, emotional obsession. So even if you do, I feel like what's gonna happen, y'all gonna find out some stuff y'all don't want to find out about y'all partner or about family or whoever, and you gonna be like, no, it's not true, it's not right. No, y'all lying. Ain't nobody lying. Ain't nobody lying. So it's gonna have you being investigator gadget on the socials, enter the web, spying and snooping and being like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Decompress. We're giving you a warning to be like, you know what?
Yes.
If you find out some ish, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go to God. Also with you have deeper meaning to life, anxiety, mood swings. You'll have an increase of psychic energy and intuition, sharing your feelings through writing, poetry, or just having better conversations with women. So if you're a man, you might be able to talk to women, whether it's your lover, your family, your friends a little bit better, or for the women, you may have a better interaction with your mom, your sister, your homegirl, or whoever you want to kind of denote that to.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, so that's kind of like I feel like the only transit to kind of wrap up our transit conversation would be Venus and Scorpio because we are in Scorpio season. Ooh.
Oh, Well, oh my goodness, that's a spicy time because I love a Venus and Scorpio. They're so mysterious. I love that.
Yes. Venus and Scorpio is when I'm in my occult bag, when I'm in the kitchen, so to speak.
Scorpio.
Venus and
Venus and
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Venus and Scorpio is a perfect time to like when I'm in my occult bag, when I'm really in the kitchen cooking it up. Baby, let me say something. I love Venus and Scorpio because that's the perfect time to do sex magic. I'm sorry.
It is.
Like,
Yes.
in any type of sex magic, love magic, beauty magic, glamour magic, baby, Venus and Scorpio. Venus is Scorpio. Venus went into Scorpio on November 6th, so that was yesterday. So if y'all been feeling a little jazzy, a little woozy
Mhm.
woozy, kitty cat meow meow meow. That's probably why. So, for my occulty girlies, spiritual girlies, if you want to work on that glamour magic, getting charming certain things, whether it's crystals, an amulet, a necklace, or just on yourself, or you want to get a beauty altar, a self-love altar, or you want to jazz up your personal altar, working with Venezuelan deities, um, or just anything dealing within that realm, baby, this is the time. And it's in Scorpio. And while it's Scorpio season, oh,
Yes, I agree.
this, or you got a man, my man, my man, my man, my man. Okay, you better start. You better throw that kitty cat on him. Throw that kitty cat
Yep.
and take his power. Take his power and start manifesting. Get everything you need. And don't feel ashamed either because
He using you too.
thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. But so yeah, Venus went into Scorpio within Central Texas at 4:55 p.m. yesterday. So it wasn't in the beginning parts of the day, but later on in the evening. So if y'all was over there hunching and it felt a little bit more intense, a little bit more passionate, a little bit more like, thank Miss Scorpio for that. Big Pluto. The Venus squaring Pluto. So of course, Scorpio is within the Venus realm, but we have Pluto and Aquarius. Um, this was yesterday. So I don't know if some of y'all are dealing with breakups, confrontations, change your relationship status. So you enter in a new relationship or you exit in a relationship, you get married, get proposed to. You're talking about your relationship status a little bit deeper. Um, it deals with issues dealing with how you deal with the love, how you want to be loved, how you're changing your mindset around how love navigates through your life. Are you truly codependent in that energy? Or are you truly more just like moving it in a way that benefits you? Also, it kind of goes into a little bit of the toxic partners or patterns or people that we either hold on to or we refuse to move around
Yes,
because
it does.
Pluto, oh yeah, Pluto, Pluto being in Aquarius, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, so Aquarius is going to bring that eccentric. So Pluto is going to bring that eccentric energy to whatever dynamic that you're dealing with. So the person that you're dealing with is different. It's not what you're used to, but you're loving it all the same. You're becoming obsessed with it, as Scorpio like to be. What's your commentary on the Venus squaring Pluto?
Well, huh, man, all I can say is you better watch what you're doing for real. Because with this Uranus, with the Uranus influence with Pluto and Aquarius, a lot of things are gonna be like seem like, oh, this is just popping up out the blue. This is just happening out of the blue. No, this has been going on for a minute, and especially with Venus, it's going to seem like it's hurting like your comfort. It's not like it's gonna be hurting your beauty in a little bit, but it's not. It's just bringing awareness to what you need to see for yourself so you can change for the better. That's what I love about having, well, about knowing about. That's what I love about Venus squaring Pluto is because it's going to bring a lot of things to the light that we tend to be a lot more comfortable with. And it's okay for a little razzle dazzle, you know. Venus is not she's a loving planet, but all is fair in love and war. So she don't mind letting you know, baby, this is out of whack. This is not gonna happen. This is no, big no no.
She wants that healthy love. Like Aquarius
Mm-hmm.
is all about that futuristic, forward, progressive, positive, uplifting. It is an air sign, so it's very
It
light
is.
in energy, but very impactful and where it graces. It wants equal and healthy love. It wants you to work on those insecurities. It will be brought to the light. Venus
Yes.
will well, Pluto would bring that out, bringing that those deep seated and rooted insecurities that particular relationship, whether it's with a partner, with family or friends or whatever, it will come out. And it's like, how do you truly tackle this? How do you resolve this? How do you get past this insecurity so that you allow love in?
Yes. And with it being in the sign of Scorpio, we're gonna have to think about how it's showing up in the sign of others. Like, because Scorpio is like other people and other things, and how you're investing your relationship into other, like, like cousins and stuff like that. Like important relationships, but further down. If I'm making sense, I hope I am.
Building that
So
community, building that
yes,
authentic
it
community and stronger. Yeah.
it definitely will have you reviewing, like, is this community really supporting me and what I want for me, or am
Mhm.
I showing up for my community the right way? This, I believe, Venus squaring Pluto would definitely highlight that this go round.
And it's crazy that you bring that up. Am I really showing up for my community? I don't know if you've seen that trendy thing on TikTok where that lady was calling around to those different churches and then she has a crying baby in the background. My baby hasn't ate for 15 hours. Can you provide me with some formula? Some churches was like, hell no. What are we, a church? Church? Are we a church? Are we a toxic church? And then some places we're like, how much you need? Where you at? What kind? They was like they gonna buy it. Like so, you hit that on the head, and that's crazy. How
Hmm.
today is November 7th. Venus ingressed to Scorpio yesterday evening at 5,
Hmm.
and this lady has been, and she went viral. Everybody, it went crazy viral yesterday when everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like people, we really got to look out for each other. If the government's not going to look out for us, you would expect the people in your community and the people in your community that have the resources, because eighth house is resources. Eighth house is helping
Yes.
other people. Aquarius
Hmm.
deals with your community, that social
Your
work,
groups. Yep.
that progressive energy to help each other. So why are
Yes.
we not helping each other? Why are we not putting the people first? One person made a very good argument. It was like, okay, I can see if they was like, oh, can I have $50? But they specifically said, can I have some formula? You can't do anything with formula but feed a baby.
Right.
Like, why are you saying no? And you hear the baby crying in the background. They acting like a baby
Right.
daddy that don't want to help.
And it's crazy because we're with Pluto and Aquarius, we're definitely seeing that opposition of children because you know Leo rules the fifth house of children and things of that nature. So we're definitely gonna see a lot of like, whoa, what about the kids? You know, and
What
it's
about
gonna
them?
be
They real
yeah,
they real pro birth, but anti pro life. That's what it's
yeah,
giving.
mm-hmm. Because they gotta live, we gotta feed them, gotta take care of
Hello. Hello.
them. Yes,
Hello. So yeah, like I think honestly the transits that's been happening within the first almost 10 days of November have been action packed, wild, and to the brim of just like, okay, but let's talk about this. Okay, but let's talk about this. But do y'all not see how the stars is telling us? It's
yes,
just
like
the energy, how you gonna move. Like how you gonna move. You know?
right. How you gonna move? What we gonna do? You know?
Girl, look. But I truly enjoyed this episode talking about
Yes.
that big Pluto, that Venus, the November elections, the new moons, the full moon cycle. So this has been a really great episode, and I get so excited whenever we record, whenever we get together and talk about these
Yes.
topics. So
I
yeah,
agree. Yes, thank you for having me. This is definitely a information filled video with a lot of like, hey, this is some stuff going on. Y'all get prepared. So definitely excited for our next episode. It's gonna be a little bit spicy, and I'm excited.
oh, and I'm excited, baby, because I love when I say I love Scorpio season. I love Leo
Yes.
season because I just feel like Leo season be having me post-dating. Just I be having to
Yes.
hide, just go in a cage. But Scorpio, I feel like I'm in full control.
Yes, I agree.
But yes, we're gonna resume and see you guys when we see it.
Okay. Bye bye.